Ladies and gentlemen, the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, proudly presents to you another amazing episode of 15 Minutes of Fandom. That's right, that's where we take the spotlight and put it on one or maybe two fans in this case, that actually show their dedication for professional wrestling. With that being said, here are the intros. In the first corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. And in the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always positive, life is great, repping 592, living in the 718, the worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. And our special guests tonight are two people who are the definition, or one of the definitions, I would say in professional wrestling, one of the top 10 definitions of what couples goals, relationship goals are. Heck, they make me actually want to go out and find my other half, and hopefully she's into the same thing. She's into the same thing that I'm into, which is professional wrestling. So for everybody out there watching, our guests tonight are two of the best photographers I have ever seen in professional wrestling. That's right. And for those of you that don't know, I have 32 years of fandom for professional wrestling. But with that being said, everybody, welcome to the show, Maryland's own Antoine and Christina, JayLee AC Photography.
Woo! Thank you for that introduction.
Thank you. That was pretty awesome, I will say.
I tried. It's a little bit of Howard Finkel, a little bit of Justin Roberts, and some Road Dogg somewhere, and then I just yell and whatnot. I hope I sound good. So.
It was great.
But I have to say, no, really, like no cap. I have to say, I've seen y'all's work, and I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, wow, these are really good shots. I mean, I'm not a photographer. I mean, I could do a little like family picture or something and whatnot. But when I saw shots, I was like, who are these people? Like, who is this? Who did this? This is phenomenal. And then when I saw, I was like, wait, it's a couple that did this? I'm like, wow, that's goals right there, man. Like, shoes out. I open up on my little booth thing, my little wifey wife or whatever. She's into like wrestling, and I'm like, we could probably like, be a podcast duo or something, and whatnot. But I gotta say, like, y'all's work is really phenomenal. And if I ever get to Maryland, I'll pay, man. Y'all gotta hook your boy up with some shots, man. Matter of fact,
anytime.
Yeah, matter of fact, maybe me and Rob should definitely, take some shots. We look like, Danny Glover and Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon, and whatnot. Or
he's about to wrap me.
She hasn't seen Lethal Weapon yet. That's on our list of movies she has to watch.
Oh, she wouldn't get diplomatic immunity. Like,
yeah. We were doing this thing with 90 movies. So
yeah, he's trying to introduce me to all the 90s movies that I missed.
That's all good.
Hey, honestly, don't feel bad. I'm probably gonna get canceled for this. I just saw Goonies 5 years ago, so please don't feel bad.
I never saw that either.
Okay.
Stay in the corner.
Sorry.
But, yeah, welcome to the show. I really appreciate y'all, taking time out of your busy schedules to, to shoot the breeze about professional wrestling. So I just gotta ask, man, like, how'd y'all become fans of the sport? Like, what was the main event or the pay-per-view, or how'd it happen for y'all?
I'll let you go first, because you have a different way you learned about wrestling than I did.
Oh, well, I just grew up on wrestling because I have an older brother. And he was obsessed with wrestling. It was on, I feel like 24/7 in our house. I always saw Hulk Hogan on the TV and Sting and just everyone. So I basically grew up with it. Shawn Michaels was my favorite. So yeah, that's how I came into it.
So I probably have like the similar wrestling thing. I grew up watching WWE or WWF. I grew up a huge NWA, watching the old videos at my dad's house late at night. And he used to come on. I forgot what channel he used to come on. I grew up a huge Bret Hart fan. Me and my cousins backyard wrestling. We used to meet at the playground. Had wrestling matches, like full on wrestling matches. Probably very unsafe, but full on wrestling matches. So I've been a huge wrestling fan. Starcade '97 was one of the events I went to. A couple of house shows when I was a kid. So I grew up big time. Me and my friends, we used to go around school with the NWO shirts on. My one friend, Steven, was like 6'5", so he called himself Big Sexy. I ended up being made to be X-Pac because I was the smallest one out of the group. And my friend who passed away on his gravestone is Rashad Hollywood Redden, because he was like the biggest Hollywood Hogan fan. Like he, to the point which he almost got kicked out of school a few times for keeping the bandana on all day long in school. So he like, when I'm talking like he lived it. To see the only kid in 8th grade wearing dress shoes and like Ric Flair and like a tie, everything. So he kind of just lived it. So that's how we grew up around wrestling. Like we didn't just watch wrestling. We made it ourselves to be part of wrestling.
Your story was so much cooler than mine.
I know. So sorry. That's why I told you that you go first.
That's an awesome story, man. That's a cool story. I remember when the NWO first came out. I wanted to spray paint NWO on almost everything. I think I may have. We used to make championship belts out of cardboard, and I think I may have sprayed NWO on a cardboard belt at one point. Man, NWO was a hot thing back then. Then we had DX.
Yes, DX. All you saw was kids in school doing the sucking sign.
I love DX, but I wasn't like, I was a huge NWO guy. Like when there was a scene a long time ago in WCW in which there was a backstage incident and they like took Rey Mysterio, Kevin Nash, and they just like flung him all the way into the, I can't remember if it was the side of the truck or the wall. And I was like, oh, this is some violence I like to see. And I was probably like 11. I was like, oh, I was hooked. I was hooked right then and there.
Wow, that's cool, man. That was an awesome time to be a wrestling fan. Looking back at it, man, like the Monday Night Wars, NWO, DX, man, it was something, man. So growing up, did y'all ever get to go to the actual wrestling shows like WCW, WWE, ECW, any of that?
I went to Starcade '97 at MCI at that time. I believe it was the MCI Arena in DC. That was one of the best ever events. I still have fond memories of it. We sat the second balcony, looking down. So we had horrible seats, but really good seats because we were at the second level right in front. And that was like one of the best events I ever went to. I think I went to a couple of house shows. Did you go to any house shows growing up?
Not growing up, actually. I didn't go to my first WWE event until I was with you at 17. So, yeah, that's my first time I went.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't go to my first one until I was 29.
Mm-hmm.
That was WrestleMania. No, 28 actually. And it was WrestleMania 28 in Miami, and I was like, man, I've never been to a WWE event before, and I've been watching all these years.
So wait, that was your first one? Was a WrestleMania?
Yeah.
How awesome was that? Oh my gosh, I'm jealous. We've never been to WrestleMania yet.
So that whole WrestleMania weekend, that's what inspired me to do this podcast, and it was like, this podcast was like more than almost a decade in the making, because going to WrestleMania 28. And not just WrestleMania, just the whole week, you meet fans of different walks of life from different countries. And I remember that's where I actually first saw my mentor, George Alonso. And I saw him doing interviews. So I'm like, and at that time I was thinking, I want to get involved with professional wrestling. And once I saw him doing interviews, I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to do what he's doing right there. That's my way of getting involved. And as years progressed, I was like, okay, I want to interview wrestlers, but I also interview the managers, and pretty much eventually I got to the point where, okay, it's going to be a podcast where I give people stories from all angles of professional wrestling, not just the wrestlers in the ring, but the managers at ringside, the referees, and of course the people that make it possible, the fans. Because without the fans, there'll be no events. You know, believe it or not, I'll die on that hill. But there would be no events. So yeah, that's the WrestleMania weekend. Pretty much that WrestleMania weekend's pretty much sparked everything that led to this, and yeah, it was awesome. I would highly recommend WrestleMania to anybody, and you know, at least once, even if it's just once, you got to go at least once. And
Yeah, them prices outrageous, but yeah, definitely.
if it's in your like your hometown, because that's how I got away with the pricing and whatnot. It was in my backyard. I lived in Fort Lauderdale at the time, and it was in Miami, so it was just a matter of a car ride or carpooling with friends and so on. I didn't have to worry about staying because I already lived there. So, you know, it was pretty simple. But I will tell you this though, when you experience it, it'll be like taking a shot of some liquor, and it'll send you into a whole whirlwind of stuff. And by the time the week is over, you'll be like, WrestleMania week is over. You're like, what happened? What was that about? That's how I felt the first time. Yeah.
So on our bucket list then.
Yeah. So I saw y'all went to some AEW shows. How was that? Like y'all, I think Christine, I think it was you were with your daughters, and y'all got to see CM Punk. And I think Antoine, was it you? Did you take that shot of Ricky Starks just chilling on the ringside?
She did.
I did.
Yeah, that was. What was it like attending that AEW show?
That was fun, honestly. I've never been front row at a non-indie show before, so that was like my first time doing that, and then to be able to do it with my daughter, our daughter. Yeah, it was a lot of fun because there are so many wrestlers there that we know because we do the photography for indie wrestling. So like a lot of the wrestlers on Dark we knew, and they saw us and they saw Haley, so they would be waving at her and everything, and she was so excited, and just to be there and see her reaction to everybody that she knew and to just be so happy. And then when Lance Archer went over there to her and just started getting on her, and I mean that whole thing was just priceless. So I had an amazing time.
Yeah, I didn't sit front row. My daughter stole my seat.
Yeah, it was his ticket, and we let her go.
But I did sit from the press seating, which was amazing. It's always good when you get good opportunities in life to do certain things. I take everything as a blessing. That anytime we get a chance to do something amazing, it's a blessing. And AEW is just such a, I don't know what to say, it's such a cool event. There's like a different type of aura at their shows. It's not a downtime with it. The crowd energy is just amazing. Even with the dark matches, it seems not to be just it flies by so quickly. Like you're there, you're enjoying it, and then like bam, you're done, and you're like, wow, that's how you can tell a show is a really good show. And just being able to take photos there is just icing on the cake for us.
Yeah, y'all took some good photos. So I remember like I saw that Ricky Starks when I was like, Ricky Starks was just chilling. I'm like, wow, that man was just, y'all even made the man just chilling look good, man. Like I was like, those were some good shots y'all took, man. Like real talk, you know. And
Thank
Rob,
you very much.
Rob, y'all go to the 1CW and CCW shows, right?
Yes, we do.
I met them there. They actually had promo pics of me as a ref.
Yes, we did.
Hey,
they made me look so good that people won't be like, oh my God, what happened to Kevin Bacon? Does he got a drug problem? You know what I mean? So they're like, all right. Yeah.
Yes, I think we may be back for the next show too. So I don't know if you're going to be there.
We may. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. We're booked for it, but our son runs track for at high school, and sometimes they interfere. So we may see you again on February 19th.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Because when I met y'all, I was like, yeah, y'all need help carrying your stuff in and all that. And then you're like, I was wearing my Cobra Kai hoodie. You're like, oh, you like Cobra Kai and stuff? I was like, that's right. Yes. That's right. Yeah.
Love Cobra. In fact, I wore well, actually, it was your Cobra Kai jacket to the AEW show the first day we were there.
Nice. That is awesome.
Did y'all see the latest episode, the latest season of Cobra Kai?
Of course. Yes.
Yes.
Rob, tell me you saw it.
Oh.
I'm backed up. I'm backed up on stuff to watch.
No, we can't even discuss it. It's spoilers.
Yep.
I'm just excited. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm excited for season 5. Rob, you gotta hurry and watch. Was it what is this season 4, right? Oh yeah, around season 4.
Okay,
Rob,
I have a question for you that won't spoil him. Okay, whose story arc are you more excited to see next season?
There's Miguel, but then
can't say anything.
No, you can't say. How you ask him a question he can't answer?
No, he can answer. Just say the person's name.
I'm gonna be very. I'm gonna leave a very cloudy answer. I am looking forward to the arrival of the greatest of evil's greatest assistant.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna say any more.
Yes.
Rob, hurry up and watch season 4. You're killing me, Smalls.
That's right. I know.
But yeah, so I just got 2 more questions before I turn it over to Rob. And you know, my second last question is, you know, how did y'all get into the photography? Like, how did it happen for y'all? Was it like were y'all meeting at like an event and you were like, wait, you take good pictures, so do you? We're on to something. Or was it just like something
like that at all? We originally got into, in general, photography because our son's in track and I wanted a camera. And so I told him, I was like, we should get a camera. He got me one. What kind was it again? It was a
Canon T-Rebel 2.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you some background. So it was like we were down there in the country where her mom lives, and she was looking up on all these YouTube videos on cameras. And I was like, well, do we really need a camera? We got these cell phones. And
that was his. I cannot believe to this day that was his response. He's the tech one of both of us, and that was his response.
Well, I'm also cheap, so that's another part of it. So then, she convinced me, and we ended up buying the camera. And then you can continue. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, so we bought the camera and I would bring it to my son's track meets. So we would be taking photos and then we would upload a few of them. Some of the parents would see them and then they would be like, hey, can you take photos of our kids too? And that turned into like a whole thing. And then one of our friends, his name is Niger, it was our date night, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a date night for us. We had a free night. And he was like, hey, you guys should come to an indie wrestling show. And at the time, we had no clue that those even existed.
And we knew they existed, but not
in our area,
not in the DMV area, because it's never been a big thing in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area.
So we were like, okay, cool, let's go. So we went. We sat second row. Before we went, though, it was a big debate back and forth between me and him. He was like,
I'm carrying the camera.
I'm carrying the camera. And I was like, but it's our date night. Don't carry the camera.
So I ended up taking like the crappier camera. Like it was a good camera, but it wasn't that good out there.
And he took some photos while we were there. And at the time, we didn't even have Twitter. So I made myself a Twitter account. And I just said, hey, let's just post the photos on Twitter. And it started getting traction from some of the wrestlers. And so the next time we went to the show again, we sat front row. And he would take more photos. Again, I would post them on my Twitter page. And it became a thing where people thought it was me taking all the photos because it was coming from my Twitter. And I was like, I take photos, but, we both do it. So then we decided to make a Twitter page for JayLee Photography. And I mean...
And then first we had to come up with a brand. We didn't exist as JayLee Photography yet. So when we started taking pictures, we were doing like family photos and stuff too, also around that time. We was like, well, I guess we need to come up with some type of brand. So we always based ourselves upon what's most important to us, and that's our kids. So our son is named Jaden, and our daughter is named Haley. So
we just mixed
the
them
name
together, JayLee.
it became JayLee. So that's how we kind of founded ourselves and branded ourselves in the beginning. And that's how we kind of came apart. And once she started taking photos, we said, hey, well, let's brand ourselves, create this name, and that way we can be together on when we post things.
Yeah. So, and it just escalated from there. I think at that wrestling show in particular, they had a tryout show, and Antoine really wanted to do ringside. Like that was his next step, is he wanted to do ringside. I didn't care at that time because I was like, I don't want to get kicked in the face. Just leave me alone. I'll sit front row. You know, I'm good with that. You can go ahead and do ringside if you want to. But for the tryout show, he asked the promoter, and the promoter was like, yeah, sure, you can do ringside. And was that when I was with you though? Or did you do it by yourself at first?
No, you did it with me.
Yeah. So he convinced me to do it with him. And so I was ringside with him. I was scared to death. Scared to death. Like my heart was beating out of my chest. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Because like they don't care. They'll like come running right past you and like almost miss your face when they're doing kicks and moves and all that stuff. So but yeah, he enjoyed it. I enjoyed it eventually. So we both sometimes do it now, but I mainly enjoy doing promos. He's the ringside guy. But if he needs help, I'm there too. So
Yeah, those promo photos that y'all do, I've seen some of them. I'm like, wow, they're like I've seen y'all did Megan Bain, one of Rob's favorite wrestlers. Megan Bain. I saw that with her and her sister, and I was like, wow, this is awesome, man. Like, this is really great work. And I've seen photographers, and then I've seen ones that I'm like, wow, like this is great. Like if I ever meet this person, I'm like, here, take my money. Just make me look good. You know, I mean, I'm balding and whatnot and touching 40, but here, take my money, see what you can do for me. And you guys, I'm not saying this because you're in front of me. You guys are actually one of those. Like, and like I said, I just honestly, I hope this leads to bigger and more opportunities for y'all, bigger and better things and more opportunities. Hopefully, we get to see, if not AEW, I know Speedy's the one that does stuff for AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Speedy.
Yes.
But hopefully, maybe GCW or MLW or Impact pick you up, or some big promotion and whatnot.
No, I will say we like being a small fish in a big pond. It's great that our work can be up there, and there's some amazing photographers that our names are included with. But how like Spider-Man says he'd like to be the local Spider-Man.
Friendly neighborhood
Spider-Man. We
Yes.
we love just being the friendly neighborhood DMV photographer who may make a trip every now and then to a few other states. But honestly, our aspirations is never ever Impact or shoot backstage for a major company. We just like to have fun.
Yeah.
And if we can create great material out of it, we're all for it. But fun is first. And when it starts to feel like work,
yeah, then we're gonna stop.
then we'll stop.
So
Awesome. That's pretty cool. That's kind of like how I feel with Ringside Society. Like it's more like a fun thing. Pretty much like my club on Saturday night, my second church on Sunday morning. That's what I consider this.
Yeah.
As well. And that's like I said, y'all definitely keep up the great work. And I just got one last question. I know Rob is itching to ask y'all questions about Cobra Kai, and if you're Marvel and DC fans, he's gonna ask you a bunch of questions about that too. But my last question is, what would y'all been doing this for like 6-7 years now, right? Or is it
5?
shorter?
I think it's almost 5. Yeah.
5 years of phenomenal pictures, in my opinion, Pulitzer worthy pictures from what I've seen with some of them that should be in a magazine. You see somebody, a young up and comer, or maybe not necessarily young, but just a newcomer getting into the photography game, and they come and ask, Antoine, Christina, what advice would you give me to if I want to get into this, I'm not trying to do it big. I just want to take good shots. What advice would you give that person?
You put it all on me, right?
I do, because you answered this before. Go ahead.
Well, there's a two. I guess you would say there's two folds to it. If you're a new photographer and you want to get into wrestling, I think a lot of times new photographers just want to come in and just shoot, and don't build a relationship with the talent or the management or the staff. I think anytime you're a new photographer, no matter if you do amazing work starting out, and most folks don't do amazing work starting out. We sucked.
Oh yeah, we
Sucked
totally
horribly
sucked.
when we first started out, and we had some amazing people that helped us along the way and worked with us through all the stuff we put out in the beginning. And I think as a new photographer, your first thing shouldn't always be try to work a show just because you have a camera. Your first thing should be trying to establish a relationship with folks so that they trust you and they realize that you're a good person. Two, that you will work for the company and you will provide images. And three, that just you'll have backing, and nobody wants to work with somebody they don't know in the beginning. So that's always a plus. And then once you start working with a company, then work on gaining gear. If you didn't come in with higher gear, you may just be purchasing them as you go, buy used gear, trade-ins.
Yeah.
That's how we kind of came up. We never really purchased anything brand new until probably recently. We always trade in old gear and upgrade to new gear. So that if any newcomer starts out, that would be my advice for them is, start building your relationships with people, and then people will trust you, and then start building your gear up so you can have better shots with it. Now, the camera doesn't make the photographer, but it for sure helps along the way.
Also, I want to add one thing. Be persistent. Like when it comes to, like, if you really want to be at a show and photograph the show and do ringside and stuff, obviously if you're brand new, the promoter may be like, no. Okay. But if you are persistent and you keep showing up, keep getting those, tickets for the seating and, just sit there and take photos, keep doing it constantly so that they end up getting to know you and seeing that, okay, this person is legit. They really want to be a photographer. They really want to do this. Okay. Eventually they'll let you do ringside. So just don't give up is the basic thing.
Awesome. So for those of y'all looking to get into, the wrestling photography game, you actually got it from 2 5-year vets. So anything else outside of this advice, you probably got to pay them a little something for a little bit more in depth. But you got a little advice from 2 5-year vets. So with that being said, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say one thing just to comment on that. If anybody hears this and they're a wrestling photographer and want advice, feel free to message us. We had a young photographer recently message us about, and I gave him some advice about what he can do to work for a promotion. And I gave him the same advice I said here. Hey, just show up. Show up and say, hey, you have a spot? Okay, you don't have a spot. Well, I'm going to enjoy the show, shoot the show, share some pictures of the show. And I'll be there in case the regular photographer is not there one day. And then when that comes in, I can fill in and maybe we can develop some relationships.
Awesome. That's cool. So y'all got a little bit extra advice as well. Like I said, y'all take that in, take heed of that. And anything else, like the man said, email them. And
yes,
you know,
don't bite.
may have to pay, you may not have to pay. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But yeah. But anything else, y'all just email them and they'll shoot the breeze with you. But I'm gonna go ahead and talk. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Rob. I know Rob is chomping at the bit to ask a couple questions. So Rob, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
Hi, Rob.
All right, sweet. Thanks, Remy. So what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing today?
Doing good.
It's a Tuesday night.
Yeah, just got back from track practice, put the kids to bed, and now we're here.
Oh, nice, man. Track practice. Oh, man. Now, do they do all the stuff, with the weights, spin around with the weights, the hurdles, all that stuff?
No, they're
They do
just
the little hurdles.
yeah, no, yeah,
Oh,
little
oh,
hurdles.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, they're younger, a little younger. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking, maybe junior high age or whatever,
Well,
somewhere around there, maybe.
our daughter's 7. Our son is 16. So
Oh,
they're on
okay.
a
Yeah.
different
Oh, okay. I
wavelength.
got you. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah, because we were saying that, track and stuff, and I was like, oh man, I always wanted to do that when I was in school. Man, it looked like they had so much fun. I was like, oh man, I'm too slow and I can't jump, so so hey. So I was gonna say, I did want to ask, have you all ever done boxing or MMA events, or would y'all ever do those events? Somebody was like, hey, we got a local thing coming up, man. Would y'all ever be interested in doing that?
Yeah, I would do boxing or MMA.
Yeah, why not? Try everything once. Sure. I mean, we may end up liking it. Who knows?
I
Yeah, there
wouldn't.
you
I
go.
wouldn't do it. I wouldn't be fond of doing MMA through a cage, just because we shot wrestling through a cage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But boxing would definitely be something I would love to do. It's just almost identical as wrestling. You have a free shot to get some good shots in the ring, and without having to worry about the cage. Unless you do a UFC type of event where you can shoot downward into the cage, that'd be awesome too.
Yeah, cause I was just thinking about that. Yeah, cause you gotta shoot through a cage, man. Unless you want to get them good shots, you gotta sit right on top. You're right on top of everybody. Click, 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 click.
Yeah,
But then I'd be paranoid the whole time, like, please don't fall, please don't fall,
Exactly.
please
That
don't
would be
fall.
me.
I don't want to be that person on pay-per-view, and they're like, what happened right there, cameraman down?
That would be my luck.
Oh no. Oh man. I know that would probably be me, because I'll try to be like, oh, I got this. I can lean, 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 boom. Oh, there goes the ref. Now you all were saying you like being in the just staying in the area and all, but I did want to ask if somebody a dream country or state came up to y'all and was like, we want y'all to shoot something for the weekend. What I mean, we'll pay for your travel and all. Come out here. What's someplace y'all would love to go? I mean, to do that. Be like, man, y'all hang out for the weekend, man. Do your thing. Come shoot for us. Bam.
California
Yeah, I
probably.
was about to say that.
Yeah.
California.
Definitely California. And actually, I would love to shoot a show in Chicago. They every wrestling photographer is awesome in Chicago. So, but I don't think that would ever happen. But Chicago is like the crowd energy, the love for wrestling in Chicago just seems like such an amazing experience. And they have some amazing shows there. So, Chicago, and also pizza is wonderful there too.
Oh, the pizza. I'll go for the pizza.
Yeah.
Mm.
And, but regardless of like a scenery, probably definitely somewhere in California would be awesome. Like PWG was a company out I think in California. They look like they have run some amazing shows. I would love to go there.
Oh yeah, I'd like to try to get out to California sometime too, man. 'Cause they got, especially in some parts of there, it's like all year it's 75 and sunny. You don't even
Yeah.
need a
Right.
weather person there. It's just like, yeah, they don't have like I got like 8-10 inches of snow last weekend. Because the show was canceled and all. It was like, oh my God, I'm getting too old for this cold. You know what I mean? I need to get to a tropical climate. I need to do something. Man, shoveling snow. Oh my God, I should have had kids. You know what I mean? So I can send them out there and do it. You know what I mean? And when they complain, I just be like, yo, y'all building character. What my pop used to say to me, like, no, you building character. That's what you're doing. So traveling around to these states and stuff, man. Do y'all have any funny travel stories? I know traveling around Virginia and stuff, man. Maybe you might have run into Bigfoot or something, or up in them hills up in northern Maryland, man. I know they got some crazy stuff up there, man.
Funny stories. I think most of my trips are kind of boring.
You always something about the first time we went to Massachusetts,
Nah, which one?
where I had to drive because you weren't feeling well.
Oh, well, I guess the funniest story probably we've ever had was that. So I went out drinking the night before we went to Beyond. Beyond is in Massachusetts, which is like a 7-hour trip. So I ended up probably drinking way too much. We got back in the house around 2:00. Had to get up at 5, so it didn't wear off. So she had to basically drive the whole trip up because I feel like awful.
Well,
It
it wasn't just me; it was Nigeria also.
one of our
Yes.
friends who came with our
So it was
trips.
between me and him driving the whole way because Antoine's just in the front seat, like.
Yeah, I didn't feel better until like halfway to the trip, which sucked. But then I did drive back though, so I take my credit.
Yeah, you earned it back. I got to sleep finally.
Yeah. But that was a rough trip because we went up, did the show, came straight back from Massachusetts. Then I went to work the next morning, which is like got home at 4. We got up at 6 for work. Took the kids to school.
Yeah, they still went to school. All that.
No, actually, they didn't have school.
No, they had. Yeah, it was on a Sunday, right?
No, it was the summertime, so they didn't have school. I was the only one who had to get up.
Yeah, you had to get up
because I had work.
But what made it even worse is the fact that when we came back home from the night before when he was drinking and all that, he says like we got home at 2. I didn't go to sleep, so I was up the whole night, and then I had to drive like some of the way, get there, work that whole time, and then come. Like I was completely like a zombie the next day.
Ooh. So. Oh, I can imagine that. I remember them times, when I used to drink, you know what I mean? Like I had to go to work, I'd come home, alarm set for 5:30, I get home, get ready for bed, stick my leg in, the alarm would go off, I hit the alarm, take my leg out, get off, go in the shower, get ready for work. Like, oh man, those were long days, It was like, please, if I can get till lunch, I'll just go home. And then by the time lunch comes around, I was like, I might as well just finish the day.
Yeah, I don't ever want to relive that type of trip again.
No.
Oh, yeah.
It was. It was great to be there though at Beyond, just that whole experience. But just driving there and then driving back is just so brutal.
That's right. Yeah. Look, to this day, I know I can't smell tequila, or I'll I have flashbacks and I might get sick. I mean, if I smell, I can't get the Rock's thing, man. As much as I love the Rock, man, I can't do his tequila, man. Like,
his mom calls it tequila.
Yes, that's right. What's that thing? 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila floor. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You done. Now I did want to ask, because I'm always stuck on the same movies and TV shows, man. I'll watch it, like comfort shows and all. Like, are there any new movies or shows y'all are watching right now?
That's probably more me because you don't really watch stuff.
Other than Cobra Kai.
Go ahead.
I just finished Expanse.
We watched 2 different genres, kind of. Like I'm into more Vikings, The Last Kingdom, stuff of that period of time, and he's more into like JoJo and Expanse and like stuff like that. So like he'll be watching stuff, I'll be doing my own thing, editing photos, and then I'll be watching stuff, and he'll be over here editing photos or doing his own thing. So.
Yeah, I think I'm watching Expanse. We do watch Snowpiercer together.
Snowpiercer's good. We like that.
I just watched The Heist.
Money
Heist, which is pretty good. I binge watched that in like a whole 2 days, a whole like one night. Just watched it all through on the computer. It was pretty good. I'm not really always a fan of dub shows, but that was pretty good. We come together. We watch I think everybody probably watched the one show we watch. What's it called?
Which one?
The one with the Asian characters.
Squid Game.
Squid Game.
Yeah,
I think everybody watched Squid Game. That was very slow in the beginning, but picked up and very good at the end.
Alice in Borderland was good too.
Yeah,
watched that
so
one.
we were watching a whole bunch of like shows. We like Netflix is fun to watch sometimes. But we've been doing like this 90s thing and what you watching old 90s movies.
He's trying to teach me the ways of the 90s. I feel like in the 90s as a kid, I was just outside playing and living my best life. I was not worried about movies and, all that stuff. Like I watched my 90s TV shows, Rugrats, Doug, Hey Arnold, all that. But like when it came to movies, I didn't care.
And she probably was more filtered. So like I watched like Class Act, House Parties, Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood.
Yep. Don't be a menace, South Central, drinking your juice in the hood. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what my parents were thinking. We'll have the stuff I watched as a kid, just thinking about it. As a matter of fact, I don't know what they were thinking about letting me watch wrestling when I was that age, because it's a whole different. We look at it now and we're like, man, we actually let our kids watch that. So it's weird.
My mom and dad would actually go to the video store and get me. I'd be like, yeah, all right, we're gonna watch Boys in the Hood. We're watching Above the Rim. They'd be like, all right, sit right there and watch it with me. You know what I mean? They don't even care. You know what I mean? It's like, that's right. like, Pop, let's get Friday. All right. To this day, my pop loves Friday. He's like, Debo! Especially on the 90s. Oh.
I just watched Boys in the Hood with them. I just watched House Party.
Biggest shock in House Party was that Full Force was actually, I didn't know those 3 big dudes, Full Force, were R&B singers. I'm like, Those
Oh my God.
She just found that out just recently because I showed her. She was like, "Hold on, that's his voice."
Yeah, how does he sing like that? So
when
high
you're
pitched.
when you're big like that, nobody can't really laugh at you. Imagine you see those three big guys go into a karaoke bar and they pull a high note. You can't laugh. Ain't nobody trying to laugh. Nobody could beat them up.
And
Like
they're
they
big
see you.
time too. They wrote songs for NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. They're not just like some local guys that just random. They've been out there and hustling and working in the music industry. So actually, I still play that song sometimes in the car while I'm driving too.
Man, his music selections on the way to wrestling shows, like he'll have Poison on repeat like 1,000 times.
Oh man, that was.
Look, you play that song. It's 4 minutes long. You play it 10 times. That's about 40 minutes of your trip.
Or
anything new edition. Anything new edition. I gotta play. I just got done. Like on the way home, I was playing "Sensitivity" by Ralph Tresvant. You know, a couple more ago, I was playing like a lot of like Bobby Brown, like Every Little Step I Take and On Our Own. Yeah, man, it's 90s music.
Yeah, we're seeing them live in March.
Oh man,
new edition.
Yeah, yes. December 31st in DC.
December,
I mean,
March.
Jesus, March 31st.
Yeah, there's a show up here. There's a show up here in Madison Square Garden on the 26th. I'm thinking of going to it. I don't know. I have to see what I'm doing that day. But yeah, I just might check it out. But Rob, go ahead, man. My bad.
Oh no, you're good, man. New edition, listen to all that. Yeah, I was jamming along with you. You know, usually like every little step I take, I'm like, you will be there. Every little step I take. Oh man, yeah, I like Bobby Brown. I love all that stuff. Yes. Boys the Man, I was jamming to that earlier and stuff, man. I love that '90s music. Just I grew up with it. Oh, I just love it. Yes.
'90s.
So
best era.
Yes, I was gonna say Class Act. Oh, I love that movie. I haven't seen that movie in years. When you said that, I was like, oh my God, just brought back memories. I was like, yes, man, because I remember they switched roles. You know what I mean? One was like, in school to all that stuff, and then they switched their. Oh man, that was great. Yeah.
I just watched it the other night.
I gotta track it down. I gotta find it because I love that movie. Kid and Play were awesome. I love Kid and Play. Oh man. Oh man, yes, they were great. But yeah, before I pass it on back to Remy, I do want to say, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Come on, chat with us. It was a blast. I wish y'all nothing but the good things that happen to you in life, all the positive things happen to you, your family, the photography thing, all that good stuff, man. I hope you all blow up, and make some good money off of it, so y'all can travel the world and do what y'all need to do. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Antoine and Christina. Yeah, we really and truly do appreciate y'all, doing this for us. Y'all have been on our radar for a bit, and we were like, February is coming up. It's Valentine's month. Yeah, we haven't had a couple on here in a while. Let's make that happen. So we're like,
and Black History Month.
Let's
Black
get
History
that.
Month.
There you go. But you see, here's the thing, and y'all heard it here. The reason why I do Black History Month, but I don't do it on Ringside Society because we don't need a month to show love.
That's true.
To Black people,
true. Very true.
Or Asian people, or to Latino people. We show love all year round.
Yes.
And I always say that, me as a Black man, I don't celebrate Black history. I celebrate being Black, being me, 24/7, 365. I don't need a month to say, well, hey, to me, Black history is to show the people that aren't within the community. And for some people that are, growing up, that, what we have contributed towards, society and so on. So, but don't worry, folks, we will be having, some historical facts on our Instagram. So yeah, but we celebrated all year round, everybody all year round, in wrestling and so on. So
the best way to do it.
Yeah, but I gotta say, thank you very much. And like I said, I'm not just saying this, y'all are definitely relationship goals. I hope I find somebody about too that's like, hey Remy, there's a show up in New Jersey. Let's go. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's hop on a train. So on. The next thing you know, you might find, me with somebody by my side. Hopefully Rob finds somebody in Delaware, and that's one big couples podcast. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, y'all definitely keep up the great work. Keep on, keep those great shots out there. Like I said, if I'm ever in Delaware or if I'm ever in, Maryland or wherever y'all shoot, I'm definitely like, hey, I need to look good, man. I'm trying to, it's the next season ringside side. I'm trying to, get that, that $1 million smile brightened.
You should just
So
come to a 1CW show or CCW show.
I want to, and it's funny because I've had Marcello and I've had both Sean Hardy and Sean Carlson on here, and I'm trying to make it down there, man. But it's just
He have me on every week. I'm a ref. Every day I'm a ref.
I'll make it there soon one day. Trust me. I definitely will. It's right down there, so I'll definitely make it happen. But before we shut down the show, where can fans find y'all on social media when they want to talk wrestling, or when they want to see your work, or if they want to get portraits? Y'all do portraits too, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, when they want to get portraits done of themselves and so on. Where can they find you on social media?
Facebook would be JayLee Photography AC. Twitter would be JayLee AC, and Instagram JayLee Photography AC. It's all very easy. We also just got a website that we literally just launched today. So yeah, I mean,
Awesome. That's great. So y'all heard? You got their social media. They have a website that they just launched. So y'all make sure y'all go and check them out. Show your support. And because like I said, they don't just do this, for monetary value or anything. They do this, this is their passion as well. So y'all check them out. Trust me, I'm not capping. They do great work. They are that damn good. So y'all check them out. And something I normally say, support indie wrestling, but hey, support the photographers too that also take pictures of indie wrestling, because they bring you all the emotions and all the happiness and all the joys, from those events as well too. And if you don't support them, well, y'all know what I'm gonna say. Rob won't come over to your house and eat all three of your meals. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna find a skip rope in your pot in your pants. That means you got to skip a meal because Rob done ate your food. But with that being said, it's about that time for us to shut down this show. Rob Bass, the Mel Gibson to my Danny Glover, the Sean Spencer to my Burton Guster, and the Tommy to my Ghost. Power reference for those of y'all that don't know that. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, find away next appearances, purchase Rob Bass merchandise? And where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at Rob_Bass82, and then YouTube, Facebook, YouTube, Rob Bass.
Awesome. And if you want to find me on social media, not that I have anything cool or interesting to say, but who knows, maybe you'll get lucky and hear me say something. You can find me on Twitter at the Remy Blue. You can also find me on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue. And our podcast is also on social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter at Ringside Society. We're on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We are also on Facebook as a group. Ringside Society is the name. Check it out. And we are also on Spotify, and we also have a YouTube channel, which is where this episode is being streamed through, or one of the platforms that is being streamed through. So go ahead, once you go on YouTube, type in Ringside Society. When you see that sweet OMG dark blue and light blue yin yang sign with the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So go ahead and subscribe to all our videos, because you won't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998, because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. As a matter of fact, we have a Nightmare Factory graduate from class 3 coming up tomorrow. And after that, we have WWE. You know what? No. Let me back that. I'm not going to introduce the man like that. We have head trainer from the Black and Brave Academy, Marek Brave, on this Friday. So y'all definitely check us out, and check out our other episodes. Like we had Marcello on there. We had Earl Hebner's daughter, Katie Hebner. And we even had the insidious Sid Mars' first ever interview where she unmasked. So definitely check us out. We got a lot of cool stuff there. And also check out our Teespring where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have t-shirts, we have long sleeve shirts, we have hoodies for the cool winter, we have tank tops to show your muscles for the hot summer, and we also have, coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage. So definitely check us out. All proceeds go back into keeping this show afloat. And with that being said, to everybody that tuned in live tonight, thank you very much. We really appreciate you. To those of y'all that are going to listen to us later on, thank you very much in advance. And those of y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd stop what we're doing and give it and go away. Well, like myself at the Gordon Corral and Rob Bass at the Taco Festival, we ain't going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. So with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we here at Ringside Society are very well aware that everybody and their grandparents and the parents of a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag we are not the same. Hey, yo, Rob Bass, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the husband and wife duo, collectively known as JayLee Photography, Antoine and Christina.
Woo!
Woohoo!
What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. And with that being said, we will be back tomorrow with another impressive episode and with another impressive guest. But until then, I just want y'all to do four things for me. 4 easy favors. Stay healthy, stay safe, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night.
Good night.
Stay classy, Delaware.